Hey folks, welcome to Hayden Grilling. Now tonight, we're out here in the Hayden Grilling Shack, brought to you by the fine folks at Barton's. But we're going to be having our birthday bash brisket. So we're going to about to fire up the smoker, our Z-Grill smoker. And so let's get that started, and then we'll take it inside. Now, for our Z-Grills, raise the lid. We got it good and cleaned out, ready for tonight's smoke. We're gonna hit the power and we're gonna run through that smoke cycle. And once it gets through the smoke cycle, then we're gonna bring it up to 225 degrees. When doing a long cook on a pellet smoker, make sure you start off with your hopper full of pellets. So we got this big, beautiful brisket here in our pan. I just opened it up at the sink, so what I'm gonna do now is come back with a paper towel. Just kind of go through, kind of pat it dry. So now I've got it patted dry, what I'm going to do is go through and some of this thicker fat here. I'm going to remove that, and then there's some thicker fat right through here. When I say remove it, I'm not going to completely remove it. I just want to reduce it down. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a sharp knife. Come in right like this. See how that just cuts right out of there? There you go. We're just gonna keep cutting it out. Try not to take any meat with it. We just wanna kind of cut this fat here. Now this side, this is the side with the fat cap. All this fat here. But I'm not gonna completely remove all the fat. Now like right here where it's a hard fat that will not render down, we are gonna trim that. We're gonna trim it down to about a quarter of an inch or so. But like some of this thinner fat here, we're probably gonna leave that. Use that to help give this brisket flavor. So in the past, when doing a brisket, I've used hot water as my binder. Well, tonight we're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna use the old Bear & Burton's W sauce. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna pour us a little bit onto our brisket. Pour it on here. Don't want it super thick. Come on. And then once we got it on there, we're just gonna rub this all over the brisket, getting the sides and the ends as well. Once you got that good and coated with that W sauce, we're gonna flip it over. Once we get it flipped over, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Pour us a little bit of this W sauce on, and then we're just gonna rub that all over. Again, this is just our binder. You can use whatever sauce you want to, whether it's hot water, hot sauce, whatever you want to use. Now it's come time for our seasoning. Now tonight we're just gonna use our Granny Moore's Gang Steer. I love this for beef because it's just salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic blend in it. We're just gonna start seasoning this all over the top. Now this is clearly the fat cap side. We're gonna season this on the top side. Then we're gonna season the sides and the ends. Flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now we get this brisket good and seasoned up, we're gonna let this sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Let it start to kind of sweat and really start to draw that seasoning into the meat. All right, folks, so it is 11:50, almost midnight. We're gonna go ahead and get this brisket. We're gonna get it put on our smoker here. I'm gonna take my temperature probe, and I want to run it right into this thickest part right here. And then plug it into my Thermopro. I'm telling you folks, the Thermopro has not let me down yet, so we're gonna keep rolling with it. We're gonna close the lid, and we're gonna let this go till it reaches 165 internal temperature, and then we're gonna wrap it. And this here is the Thermopro I'm talking about. I honestly don't know what model this one is. My wife got me this one a few years ago for Father's Day, but this is what we're running off of. So we're gonna keep monitoring our internal temperature of our brisket. And once it hits 165, like I said, we'll wrap it in butcher paper. All right, folks, my temperature probe is reading 165. We're gonna raise the lid. It's the first time looking at it since midnight when we put it on there. It's looking beautiful, ain't it? All right, I'm not gonna go through the whole wrap like I did last time because that was painful, not gonna lie. But now we're gonna wrap it in butcher paper. All right, so we got our wrapped brisket back on the smoker. I'm gonna take my temperature probe once again. We're gonna find the thickest part, which is about right here. You gotta give it a pretty good push because that butcher paper, it's pretty hard to push through. So we're gonna close the lid. We're gonna take it to, I wanna go to 199. Now I think we're doing pretty good on our time, but we're gonna pull this when it gets to 199. And the reason I'm trying 199 this time is because last time I let it go till it hit 203, and then I wrapped it in some towels and put it in a cooler. Well, as it sat in there, it continued to increase in temperature, so some of the edges were just a little bit dried out. So I'm going to experiment. I'm going to go to 199 in hopes that when it sits in the cooler wrapped up, then as it increases that temperature, it'll hit that target of 203, and then it'll be perfection. Experiment time. In the intro, I did say it's birthday bash. Well, the birthday bash is mine. September 21st, 42nd birthday. What better way to celebrate than smoke a brisket? Got friends coming over later. Brisket, Bubba beans, and I'm telling you, the best mashed potatoes you'll ever eat in your life. And I'm gonna have to get Lindsay to try, and maybe she'll do a video for us on how she makes those potatoes. The best potatoes. But it's gonna be a great night, or a great evening. So by my thermometer, we're at 200 degrees internal temperature. I know I said 199, decided to go to 200. We're gonna raise the lid, and I'm gonna come back with my Thermopro Lightning here, and just gonna kind of double check. All right, so we're showing 190 right there. So I'm gonna let this go a little bit longer. All right, so we just got our brisket off the smoker. We hit that 199 temp. And so we're gonna wrap this now in our towel and kind of fold this over like so. And we're gonna take us another towel and wrap this thing up. Now that we got our brisket wrapped with the towels, we got them in this cooler. We're gonna shut the lid and let it rest until time to eat, about 2.5 hours. All right, folks, we moved this in the house and we're starting to slice this brisket up. I voiced over the video because there's a lot of background going on, but take a look at this slice of brisket here. If I can ever get it out of there. Look at that brisket. Very nice, juicy. And now I got it sliced pretty good ways. I'm gonna pick up the remaining of the brisket here. I want y'all to look, watch this. Look at all that juice oozing out right there. Very good brisket. Very pleased how it turned out. I didn't get a good video of my plate being made, but there's our brisket, Bubba beans, and those potatoes. Hey everyone, just want to do a quick recap on the video. I didn't do an actual taste test on video, but I'm here to tell you that brisket was probably some of the best brisket I've made yet. I'm not that experienced in brisket, but definitely some of the best I've made. It just takes time, and that's the beautiful thing about that pellet smoker. I can put it on and go do whatever I need to do. I don't have to babysit it. So if you're looking at a pellet smoker, I encourage you to give Z Grills a try. So y'all please let me know what you think of the video. Y'all please like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.